Good morning, everybody. I really started to get curious, how much could I win if I actually was just doing the Pendulum OTK. Now notice, I am actually in gold tier. Gold tier 1. I'm a little surprised how quick I got here using just my basic Pendulum build, and so I really am surprised. So I really, real quick, wanted to show you guys the road here that I've had. And I'm trying to think, I'll start here at the bottom. So I think I already did this one. Let me confirm the opponent's deck. That will let me know if I... Okay, yeah, so this was an Eldritch build. Notice not a whole lot of hand traps, but Eldritch also has the skill drain, which is extremely strong in that deck if you can get the skill drain off. He's also got the Max C. So definitely would need more hand traps if he was going to find a way around me here. But again, I'm surprised how quick this is gone. I did not anticipate that it would honestly be this easy. I don't know. I thought there'd be more hand traps that would interrupt me, and I found that that's not the case. So notice he sets 3 back row here, which that back row usually should be enough to kind of stop what I'm doing. Okay, so instantly he chains here the Scarlet Sanguine. That's going to give him a special summon. Yep, there's Eldritch the Golden Lord now. Okay, and then there's my special summon of Abyss Curtain Actor. Okay, then I normal summon the Joker. Now, he bottomlesses here, but that's okay, because it doesn't stop my effect from going off. So that goes ahead and gives me the purple poison. And then I go ahead and use Chronograph Sorcerer, because something was destroyed. It gives me a special summon. So that actually ended up helping me. So that allows me now to go into Anaconda. Now, I use the Pendulum Call, ditching the Mythical Beast monster, get Black Fang and Harmonizing Magician, and now I've got everything I need here. So I Pendulum summon 4, and what's crazy, this is all I needed to make the combo work. Go for the 2 Supreme King, go for another 2. Now I go ahead and use the Instant Fusion. Now, and I did that on purpose because I also had the extra Foolish Burial. So if the Instant Fusion didn't work with the Predaplant monster, I had a way to make it work. And so, man, just very difficult to combat. And once I just really wanted to see how far could I get with this build and not even make that many modifications. So the second deck that I go against here, notice it's a Blue Eyes deck. I felt bad when I went back and looked at the replay because I thought to myself, oh, this guy had absolutely no way to interrupt me. So that was really difficult to see that. I thought, man, that kind of stinks, because the hand traps is the only way to stop this deck, and if you hand trap me, it's very difficult for me to make the comeback. But it is possible depending on how you open as well. So notice it's an absolutely cracked hand. I mean, that's just way too good. So there's the Astrograph Sorcerer. I used the Duelist Alliance to get the Pendulum Call. Use the effect of Astrograph Sorcerer, pop it, get the special summon of Stargazer, normal summon Joker. That goes ahead and gives me the purple poison. And notice I just go for Anaconda here. I forgot just how good it is if in a Pendulum deck, if you have just the 2 arrows that point down. It's so effective. Go ahead and set up my scales now. And then I just Pendulum summon. It's just too simple. Yep, getting everything out here on the field. Go ahead and get out the Supreme King. Do it again. Use the effect of the Instant Fusion. There's the Lyrilless card. And yeah, just copy the effect. And again, looking back, I looked at his deck and thought, oh man, that's rough. I mean, because with no hand traps, and he chose to let me go first. I mean, that just really stops him. But that guy's deck was pretty weak, so I feel bad. Now this was different though. So notice with this build, it's Fluffles, and Fluffles really, really good once they get going. He's got the 2 hand traps here. And I guess the reason I wanted to see how far I could go with this was to say to Konami, you're gonna have to do something about this, unless you're expecting every single duelist to run a bunch of hand traps. It's going to be very difficult for them to combat this, because this is too easy for me to make this every single time. And notice I start off with the instant fusion, so that's really good. I use the effect. I just go ahead and pop this normal summon. Now he does use the Ash here, but that's okay. So he did have the 1 interruption, but I almost maybe sometimes have to have 2 interruptions because I do have a play. So that gives me my scales here in this situation. What's up, Taco Tony? Okay, notice now that I go for the Anaconda, then I set up my scales, and guys, it's too simple. Yeah, so I go ahead and do the Pendulum Summon, use the effect of the Supreme King Dragon, pay the 1,000, so I go ahead and get out the Lyric card here, copy the effect, it's just too strong, and then notice this time I send the Pendulum Fusion. That card is clutch to making this combo. Go ahead and make the Supreme King, and that's all she wrote. It's just, look at that, even with the interruption, unless he has a second interruption, it's possible for this deck to go off. Yes, hello to you, Taco Tony, for sure. So I just really wanted to showcase Konami, if you don't do something about this, it's going to get very difficult for other players. Now, this was another deck that when I went back and looked at it, I thought, oh, I mean, the poor guy had no shot against me in this situation. So I thought, man, that really stinks. Another one here. Okay, notice this guy's got hand traps galore. Look at this. He's got the 3 Ash. He's got the 2 Gamma. He's got the 2 Infinite Impermanences. That is 8 types of hand traps that this man had. So you would think that that would be enough, right? I mean, that's quite a bit. So now to show you though, again, unless you open right, this is no fun for your opponent. Oh, are you Taco Tony? Yeah? Okay, so here's my hand. Really good hand. Because I've got the Dragon Shrine. Okay? Now, notice my opponent is going first. Alright, and that's a solid start using the Shaddoll Fusion to make El Shaddoll Winda. He goes ahead and uses the effect of Aerial. That allows him then to go ahead and set Falco, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so the Falco gets set, which is really good, and then he has 1 face down. So in this situation, I actually did have a play here. So I start with the Dragon Shrine. I go ahead and put the Abyss Actor Curtain Call. Use the effect here. It's a max C. I'm not going to go all in here, because I thought to myself, ooh, that's kind of crazy. So he's got the Schism, and once I saw that though, that kind of changed what I thought I might do a little bit. Because I thought, ooh, that's an interesting card. So I go ahead and ditch the Supreme Kate 0, and I go for Timebreaker Magician. I just go ahead and attack his monster, getting rid of it, and then I normal summon so the max C doesn't get any more value, using Timebreaker Magician to banish his card. Because I thought, he must not have had the best hand, and I was right. So now that I see that, now it's a whole different situation. So the Timebreaker comes back, I go ahead and banish again, I just go ahead and smack in. And again, I'm really rolling the dice that he doesn't get something crazy. And once I see that he didn't have anything crazy there, I'm like, I should be good here now. So the time breaker comes back, use the effect. Then I go ahead and use the pendulum call. So good here. And now I've got everything I need to make this work. Normal summon another time breaker. That allows me to go ahead and use the Predator Plant Anaconda. He does chain Max C here, but at this point I'm all in. So I'm hoping he doesn't draw into one of those hand traps. Oh, good, Taco Tony. And I don't, what I don't want to do here is give him too many options. I just go for the Supreme King, and I'm actually thinking I'm just going to attack. I didn't want to activate any effects. So notice that time, I was too afraid of the hand traps, and I found a way to OTK. Not needing the actual Lyralist card in the process, because I was too worried about the interruption. So you do have options to play around here if you need to. Now, looking at my next opponent's deck here, same situation. So he's got the 2 Maxi, he's got the 2 Gamma, he's got the 3 Ash. I mean, that's a pretty solid hand trap lineup, but against this deck it's not enough. I mean, they gotta do something about this. Because I've gone almost all the way through the Gold Series. I think I had 3 Adamancipator matches where I actually played in the Gold League. The rest has been with this first turn kill deck. And I'm going to show you the overall matches with it. Now, I do go ahead and use the Supreme King here to get another card. And I go ahead and do the Pendulum Summon here. Now you might be thinking, boy, that seems awfully early. Nope. I have everything that I need. So I get the Lyralist card here. I go ahead and copy the effect. Go ahead and use the burn effect now. Then I go for Anaconda, because I can target that card in the grave. So there's Anaconda now. I go ahead and activate sending the 2000 and for the Pendulum Fusion. That allows me to make the next Starving King Venom Dragon. And use the effect to copy in the grave and activate. Again, the guy had 6 hand traps he could have opened. Which means to me, if this keeps running wild like this, you're gonna have to build for this situation, which makes it really funky the way that you might build. Okay, so my next opponent's deck, I felt bad when I looked back on this because they do need a turn to get going, knowing that it's sub-tears. And I thought, oh, that's a rough situation here for this guy, because he's not going to be able to stop me with having no hand traps. Hey, what's up, Fusion YGO? I'm just going over how this Pendulum first turn kill, even with a meta that's loaded with hand traps, is not healthy for the game. And to prove a point, I am actually going through Gold League with just this deck. I've had maybe 3 Adamancipator matches that were at the very beginning of Season 2. So notice here I've used Curtain Call. Oh, it is crazy, sir. It's too easy. It's too easy. Now, he does have an interruption, and that's fine. I have everything I need. So I normal summon the Joker. I go ahead and make the set up my scales with Purple Poison Magician and Black Fang Magician. Get the special summon of 4, and that's it. I know that he's got nothing else because I've already seen the trap. Use the extra Foolish Burial to spend the 4,000. Send the Lyralist card, target it with both Starving Venoms, activate both effects. I mean, it's just too easy with this deck, everybody. I mean, even if they limit the Starving Venom to 1, that at least fixes this problem a little bit more. In fact, that would fix the problem. Just limit it to one. Again, look at my opponent's deck here. He's got the 2 Maxis, he's got the 2 Gammas, he's also got the 3 Ash. Then he's also got the Crossout Designator, and he's got the Called by the Grave. I mean, this is a pretty solid Virtual World deck. But again, if I'm going first, that's all I need. I mean, he really has to have the right hand trap in order for this to work. Oh, Pat, when it was legal in the TCG, my son and I created a budget version till we got Electromite, and I could do it within 2 turns every single time. No doubt about it. Now with Anaconda, it's nuts. That's the perfect start, is Pendulum Call with the Supreme King, Dragon here, Dark Worm. It's just really difficult. That gives me the Great Scales, Normal Summon the Joker. That gives me Purple Poison Magician. Now, here's what's nuts about the hand that I currently have, everybody. It could honestly have went through an interruption if it had to. So set up my scales, go ahead and Pendulum Summon now. And notice I bring out my 2 cards there. I bring out the Astrograph Sorcerer, and I get out the Purple Poison. I have set up for the next turn with Performafal Go-Go, because I could get the Monkey card, and I have Harmonizing Magician. Use the Instant Fusion now, set up the Lyrillist card, and then target with both of them, and of course I'm just going to activate the effect. Just ridiculous. And that's what I really wanted to see that I didn't show in my first video with this. What does the hand trap lineup look like for all of my opponents? Because if they do have a certain amount of hand traps, it's just confirming to me that they're gonna have to run more. Now, this is the hand trap everyone should be running, I feel, in this format, is right here. If you're gonna have this first turn kill Pendulum OTK out there, or first turn kill Pendulum deck, you have to run the Primal Being. That totally shuts down the deck, and it's your best option. Now, this is not a very strong deck, so I'm not actually going to watch the video just because it was so easy to get it off. Now, my next opponent, though, oh yeah, it's bad, man. Pat, it's bad. Okay, so looking at my next opponent's deck here, he did have some hand traps, so notice that he does have the 3 Ash. It is a Crusadia OTK build, and again, the point is to win, right? That's what you're trying to do. But I feel there should be some interaction on your opponent's turn. And so, knowing what he was playing, once I did get to see it, I knew the strategy was to not have a monster out on the field. But I do that a lot, just to see if my opponent can OTK me. And if I see a Cyber Dragon deck, I know it's coming. So that I just roll the dice here. But I'm so glad once I see that he was playing Crusadia that I did not leave a monster out there. Now, it's a good hand. He does have the Ash though, and that does slow me down because, yeah, I could go ahead and burn him for 3,500, but it's not enough. So I roll the dice and see what he can do. Now, again, I see the Crusadia build. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm so glad that I decided not to put a monster out, because if he's got the Kaiju, which we saw from his deck profile, he probably did, that would have been the game. Now, I thought to myself, uh-oh, this is a problem, because he's going to have a negation as a possibility if he ends with the right board. There are so many players that like to end with Avermax, and I feel that is a huge mistake. I will explain why. So he goes ahead and gets out Regulus, then he's got Arborea here, which is really good for protection, and then he goes ahead and he goes for Equamax, and Equamax is a great card. I firmly believe, I prefer this card unless I know my opponent's deck very well. I prefer this card. The reason being is for the negation. But he goes here into the Link 1, and I thought, oh dude, it's over. unless you took away your negate. So he does go for Abramax here, and it's again a great card if I'm attacking. And of course he doesn't know that. Also, I don't know what his face down is here. I'm assuming it's some kind of protection, knowing the deck, because he didn't go for the trap card. So I just go ahead and Pendulum Summon. I've got everything I need. Use the Harmonizing Magician. I just need one extra card. Go ahead and get out the Supreme King Dragon. He goes ahead and uses his card. I go ahead and play the extra Foolish Burial. I then go ahead and target the Lyreless card, burn him. Now I go into Anaconda. And at this point I was worried, what if he has some hand trap in the hand? Go ahead and roll the dice here, get the Pendulum Fusion, use my 2 scales to make the next one, and then, there he is, there's the boy. Copy the effect of the Lyreless card in the grave, and with 400 life points, I make it happen. So, unbelievable just how good this deck can be. Konami, if you're watching, you do need to hit the card. It's been too easy for me to go through it in the Gold League, which that's, you know, one step down from Platinum. Now I am curious how well I'll do in Platinum, because that's my goal, is to try that next actually. But I do want to show you guys that I have had losses. I just wanted to show you I have had quite a few wins though too. I was doing a calculation of where I'm at, and it's over 75% win rate with this deck. That's bonkers. So notice I had a loss here. I believe this guy's deck was a Cyber Dragon deck. Yeah. So he did hit me with the right hand trap. I do agree with the Primal being there. He's also got the Max C, and then he's got the 2 Imperms. This was a very good build. And once I saw that he was playing Cyber Dragons and he had Machine Dupe on the first turn, I just surrendered. And as you can see, lots of wins, right? Now, I do have some losses. Now, this one I was pretty upset with myself because I punted. I accidentally ended up making the wrong card. So what I did first is I did make the Starving Venom, but then I ended up making and then using by accident the Anaconda's effect. Once you use the effect, you can't special summon for the rest of the turn unless you're using the effect of Anaconda. So that was a mistake on my part, but I had the game. And the reason being, notice he's only got the 2 hand traps. So I did have the way to do it, but then after that it was all over. So that was a misplay on my part. Then over here, the next deck that I lost to, believe it or not, was another Pendulum build, which I thought was really interesting. And what he ended up doing, because I didn't know what he was playing, he used it against me. So I was laughing pretty hard when that happened. I thought, oh, all right, a little taste of my own medicine. That's pretty good. These were absolutely 2 straight losses. There was nothing I could have done to stop either one. With this one, he hand trapped me, and then after that he also had the bird out, and so there was nothing I could do. Those 2 negations were honestly enough. And then with this situation here, again, he ended up hitting me with the Imperm, I believe, and then also hit me with the Ash. But notice the ratios weren't that different from the other decks that we've looked at, which tells me they need to do something about this. They really do, if they're going to make sure that it works. And again, the duels are over pretty quick. So again, this guy also had the right hand traps. He actually went into the Max C, and he was able to Ash me later on, and then had the Imperm. So there was nothing I could do with the 2 interruptions. But you've got to have the right hand traps in order to beat this deck. So like I said, the win percentage is above 75% for the deck, and that's tough if I'm doing that all the way through Gold Series for any of the opponents I'd be facing. Now I got one more to go here. Now watch me lose here. But I am going to try and get to platinum with it so you guys can see that. So we're going to find out how this goes. Did I just pick the right deck? I don't even know if I have the right deck. Okay, so... oh, okay, so he's got to have the right hand traps here, or it's going to be tough for him. And assuming I have the right deck in hand. Okay, yeah. He's got to have it here. Alright, so here we go. Alright, so I'm going to start with the Foolish. Now, does he have what he needs? If not, it's already over. He does not have any interruptions. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and activate. And I'm going to go ahead and summon. So there's my special. And then I'll activate the effect. And then that adds another Supreme Cape 0. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and use the Pendulum call. So I'm going to go ahead and ditch this card. Okay. And the cards I'm going to go for here is these two. Because I do have a good card already in the Supreme Cape 0. Okay, so now I can actually use this in my scale. Okay. And then I can activate the effect. So that destroys the card. There's the card that I want. And yes, I want to special summon it to the field. So there it is. And I don't even need to get fancy here. I actually have everything that I need. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in the scale. And then I'll put this in the scale. Again, I don't need to get fancy, so I'm not going to. If you can do something without it getting crazy, you might as well just do it. Okay, so that's going to bring out the boy here. Yep, there's the Astrograph Sorcerer. And then there's the Harmonizing Magician. And I don't even need to use the effect, everybody. Because I already have the Instant Fusion in hand. So I'm going to go ahead and make the first one. Okay, so there he comes. And then I'll go ahead and do it again. See, Konami, you got to do something about this. With this running rampant everywhere in this game, I don't feel it's healthy. So now I use the Instant Fusion. I pay my 1,000. There's the Lyrilless card. Yep, there it is. And I'm sorry, Duelist DJ. That is going to be it. Unless you have something crazy here to stop me, and you do not. Okay, and then activate the effect again. And then I'm going to copy again. And that's it, guys. Okay, so activate. And now he's unaffected anyways. He could try a hand trap here and it wouldn't even work. And that's the game. So, as you guys can see, there's no interruptions. It's just too easy. I didn't even need the Anaconda that time. Alright, so, yeah, something's got to get done. Oh, burn it all. So I ended up getting some sort of trophy there. Alright, and there it is. The rank up to platinum with the Pendulum first turn kill deck. Come on, Konami. You're gonna have to address it. And I'm gonna be curious how they do ban lists with this. That's definitely gonna have to be something that they end up addressing. Oops, I already have that full. Okay. I do love how I can always see what my opponents are doing. Oh, wow. So it was a Cyber Dragon deck, but notice he only had one hand trap. That's not enough. You gotta have more than that. Okay, so yeah, that's just rough. Oh, real quick, I did make a few adjustments. The reason being, if I do have to go second, I do want to showcase that I have been labbing. So there are some things that I've thought about changing. So just so you guys can see what those additions are, it's not much. So right now I did go with Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. The reason being, it allows me to tribute off one of my opponent's monsters, and I'm pretty sure that I can make that work. So I don't have to activate a bunch of effects to get this out, and it's like a kaiju basically, which is good to me. I also went ahead and put in the Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend. If I do have a way to go through some of the boards that my opponent makes, this could do the additional burn. So let's say I get off the Supreme King Dragon Starving Venom's effect, then I use the Lyrilisk, I get them down to 3,500. This could be my ace in the hole. So that's also another small tweak that I've made to the deck. But yeah, guys, 41 cards, it really has been working. It's been pretty effective.
We hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button. Also, we would love to have you guys be subscribers to the channel. If you ever want to catch what's happening live, we'd also love to have you guys be a part of our Twitch community. Hey, thanks again so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.
Wait for your next challenge. I know that you'll be back.